stop making that silly noise then.
In this video, we will take you along on our visit to the beautiful Dunster Castle, as well as the pretty village connected to it. Dunster is a small village with a big castle. Fewer than 1,000 people live in Dunster, but it is a charming and historic spot to visit. We had a wonderful time visiting Somerset, and our stay in Dunster was a highlight. The village became a bustling center of the wool and cloth trade, and a reminder of this heritage is the 400-year-old yarn market, which has a prominent position in the town center. A few steps away from that is the hotel where we stayed, the Dunster Castle Hotel. So I wanted to show you around inside our hotel room in the Dunster Castle Hotel. After staying in some coastal properties where we had sea views, I was wondering what things would be like here, but it's so lovely. This is an amazing hotel. Look at this mirror. This is like the biggest mirror in all of Puppet Land in our hotel room. It's awesome. And beautiful furnishings, chandeliers. Again, look at these bedside lamps. They're like Liberace's candelabras. They're awesome. And this armoire is a gorgeous piece of furniture with all this Asian carving artwork in it. And out the window, you can see the town of Dunster. Well, we've just arrived in Dunster and checked into our hotel room, and we need to sort out dinner. Unfortunately, we did not plan ahead, and during these times of pandemic, that means we'll probably be in a little bit of trouble. So we're just gonna figure something out and go Dunster diving for dinner. This was another noteworthy part of our accommodations. We were given bottled water with the brand name Cheddar. Obviously, I was chuffed with my Cheddar water. We were able to find some delicious takeout Indian food in the town just down the street, and the wonderful owners of this hotel have set a lovely table for us, including a candle. I'm excited. So this food looks terrific. We got some colorful pilau rice. This is a vegetarian dish that I don't remember the name of. It was long, so I'll have to just put that in the edit. And then this, I remember the name of this, Blue Elephant on Parade. It's some kind of fancy variation on chicken tikka masala. Some raita and then some delicious looking garlic naan. Can't wait to tuck in. It turns out there are no restaurants in Dunster. It is such a small, sleepy village where the streets roll up at 5 p.m. So we drove 5 minutes to Minehead to get our takeaway Indian meal. The food was amazing. I highly recommend Alcum Tandoori if you are in that area of Somerset. The owners of the hotel were so lovely and let us eat in the empty dining room and leave our dishes for them to clean up. I have to show you this sign above the doorway in the lobby. This is why I didn't buy a cottage in the Cotswolds. I'm too tall of a human for centuries-old doorways, but I do love a good mind your head sign, which you may recall me discussing in my random funny British bits video. After a good night's sleep, we ventured out to capture the beauty of Dunster on the ground and in the sky. Ian dodged raindrops and gusts of wind to get some drone footage. Well, this is going to be an interesting filming day because it is cold, it is windy, and it is rainy. But it is England at the end of September, so what did I expect? I lucked out most of this trip. So we are in Dunster now, go to the castle this afternoon, and hopefully be able to get some good photos and footage despite the weather. From the hotel car park, I could see the Priory Church of St. George. The beautiful church was established as a Benedictine monastery circa 1100 and originally had shared worship between the monks of Dunster Priory and the parishioners. In 1346, a nunnery was built in Dunster, but no nuns ever lived there. It was used as a guest house. I loved all the fun names and signs around the darling village of Dunster, but my favorite is this surprises shop. I'm not sure what's in there, but I'm going to pretend Miranda Hart is behind the till in that store. I loved all the architecture in the village, but the star attraction is definitely the iconic yarn market. It's not your typical village market hall. Next up, a visit to the castle. We're here at Dunster Castle, and if you look in this direction, it looks sunny, and over in the direction of the castle, it's a bit cloudy, so we'll see how this goes. That's a pretty flower. Here we are. Just entered the grounds to Dunster Castle and we're walking around. You probably can't see it on the video, but I'm looking down on a field of cows and they are all laying down in the grass. And I remember hearing some old farmer saying, if the cows are laying down in the field, that means it's gonna rain. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? I can't walk into this part of the garden, but I really want to because those dahlias are the most amazing color of red. Obviously, we chose the route that is not avoiding steps, but I've got my Stairmaster master ahead of me so he can handle it. I'm not stopping on these steps because I'm out of breath and need to catch my breath. I'm stopping on these steps because this view of the castle grounds and all those palm trees that make me feel like I'm not even in England. I don't think it shows up on camera, but way off in the distance about here, I can see ships in a harbor. I don't know. It's somewhere in Wales, Cardiff or somewhere. I wish the video captured the smell because this lavender and rosemary here just makes this path smell divine. This history of Dunster Castle is really interesting, showing this drawing of what the hill fort looked like back around the year 1066, and telling the history of how in 1376 Elizabeth Luttrell bought Dunster for 5,000 marks, and through the centuries, it's been owned by generations of Luttrells. In 1867, it was inherited by George Luttrell, who then remodeled it in a medieval style, all the way up to 1954, owned by the Luttrell family still. This viewpoint at the top of the garden is great for looking at all the things. You can see a white ship off in the distance in the sea, the rolling green fields, the top of the castle. I don't think I've seen this at a castle before. A pet cemetery? This is an interesting topiary of a stegosaurus. I love that Dunster Castle is in that red stone, like we see throughout Somerset. And here's a little ruined part of the ancient castle. Well, it was a Dara and Ian day, so that meant Ian got ice cream, and Dara insisted that we get unusual flavors that she could photograph for Instagram. All right, so we're at Dunster Castle, and we are trying ice cream flavors that are adventurous. that we wouldn't get back in the States. So here's black currant and clotted cream. And then this is honey and stem ginger. So I'm going to be adventurous and try these. Starting with the ginger. Ginger is kind of strong, but the double cream really mitigates that. It's actually really good. Black currants and clotted cream. That's delicious. Again, the black currant flavor can be really strong, but with the clotted cream, it's a delicious combination.
The Luttrell family had owned Dunster Castle for 600 years when they gave it to the National Trust in 1976. The motto for the Luttrell coat of arms above the door to the castle reads, "Gained by strength, held by skill."
I have a thing for fancy dining room ceilings, and this one is very impressive. This is a pretty magnificent staircase and banister. And another pretty cool ceiling too. Lots of pictures of the Luttrell family throughout. So these leather wall hangings with murals, pretty much, were made in the Netherlands. And what are the scenes?
It tells the story about King Cleopatra, but you don't necessarily know. Cleopatra's a lady with red hair.
Well, that must be Cleopatra there because she's got a snake, an asp. Bedroom has a carving above the fireplace from 1620, which is pretty interesting. But even more interesting, perhaps, is the fact that, according to the story, King Charles II slept in this bedroom when he was the future king, when he was the Prince of Wales. And this bedroom is supposed to be the most haunted of the castle. Here is the muniment room, which apparently is where the ammunition was kept. This is the drawing room, and clearly the fanciest room, with all of the gold and the gold chandelier and the gold on the ceiling. These chairs look very interesting, but not very comfortable.
This shows the lovely views to the sea that can be had from inside the castle.
Everywhere I look, there's something cool that I want to take a picture or a video of. Like these doors. They're just massive.
And then this door is very little.
And now it's time to leave Dunster Castle and head to Bath. Or Bath, depending on who you ask.
We thoroughly enjoyed our visit to Dunster Castle. We highly recommend it if you get a chance to stop by. Thanks for coming along on our Dunster Day. Please check out some of our other videos and consider subscribing. We'd love to have you part of the Magenta Otter tribe. Cheers, and do something good in the world today.